Hello everyone, welcome to the video. So in this video, let's discuss about AWS Elastic Kubernetes Service. So before moving into the video, so let's see what are the topics which we're going to cover in this video. So firstly, let's see what is the meaning of Kubernetes and what is AWS EKS, and later uh, we're going to see key features of AWS EKS and uh, how the architecture of the AWS EKS works, and what are the benefits of using AWS EKS. And lastly, let's see the use cases of the AWS EKS. So firstly, what is Kubernetes? So Kubernetes is we can say that K8S. So Kubernetes is an open source platform designed to automate the deployment, scaling, and management of the containerized applications. So it will help to coordinate and manage the deployment of the containers across the multiple computers or servers, and it also helps in automatically increase or decrease the number of the containers based on the demands, and it ensure the ensuring application runs smoothly. So it provide a robust and flexible infrastructure for managing containerized workloads and services. So it allowing developers and IT operation team to efficiently orchestrate and scale application across the cluster of machines. So if something goes wrong, like a container crash, so the Kubernetes can restart or replace it without the downtime. So it ensure the traffic is balanced and evenly distributed among the containers. So now let's see what is the meaning of AWS EKS. So EKS stand for Elastic Kubernetes Service. So the AWS EKS is a fully managed service provided by the AWS. So that makes easy to deploy, manage, and scale containerized application using the Kubernetes on AWS. So it's a service from the AWS that will help to make it easier to run the Kubernetes service without having the setup or manage the infrastructure yourself. So EKS allow you to run a Kubernetes cluster without the need to manage and underlying infrastructure. So you can focus on deploying and running your applications. So the EKS works well with the other AWS tools and services like storage and networking, so making it easier to build and run the applications in the cloud. So in simple words, the AWS EKS simplifies the running Kubernetes, and it letting you focus on your application rather than the managing the Kubernetes setup and the infrastructure. Now let's see what are the key features of AWS EKS. So firstly, the AWS EKS is a fully managed control plan. So it automatically do the work like automatic patching, updates, and availability. So the AWS will take care of managing the core parts of your Kubernetes cluster, like applying updates, patches, and it ensure everything runs smoothly. So you don't have to worry about the technical updates. Uh, it will handle automatically. And secondly, it provides the scalability features, so scales to handle workloads efficiently. So your application can grow or shrink to meet the demand without you having to adjust things manually. So the AWS EKS efficiently handle the workloads changes and ensuring your service runs smoothly. And also the EKS integrated with the other AWS services also. So integrated with the services like IAM, CloudWatch, and VPC. So for it also integrated with the AWS services like IAM for the secure access control, and CloudWatch for the monitoring and logging, and the VPC for the isolating and protecting your Kubernetes environment. And also it provides the security features, so fine-grained access control via IAM. So that is by creating a IAM role, and also the VPC network isolation and security groups. So you have to detail control over who can do what in your Kubernetes cluster, and the security features like a VPC network isolation and security groups add the additional layer of the protection, and it ensure your data and the application are safe. And it supports for the open source tool like compatible with the kubectl and the helm. So the kubectl is a command line tool for the managing your cluster, and the helm it is for the installing and managing the application on the Kubernetes. And also it support multi-region and multi-agent support, so ensure high availability and disaster recovery. So the AWS EKS is designed for the high availability, so it can run across the multiple AWS regions and availability zones. So it ensure your application stay online even if something goes wrong in one area. So it also support the disaster recovery to keep your service reliable. Now let's discuss the architecture of the AWS EKS. So here you can see this is the architecture of the AWS EKS. So the clients are comes under the on-premises network. So the clients are the users or the system, so that interact with the Kubernetes application. So they can be within the on-premises network, or they can access the application over the internet. So both are comes under the users or the system that interact with the Kubernetes application. So here you can see this is the EKS control plan. So this is the EKS control plan is the fully managed service by the AWS. So it is fully managed by the AWS, and that will take care of the Kubernetes control plane components like API servers uh, and the etcd databases like that. So this control plane ensure high availability, security, and the scalability of the Kubernetes cluster. So you don't have to manage this. It will handle the entirely by the AWS. So under the control plane, the VPC comes. So the VPC, the cluster runs within these are the clusters. These clusters are run within the VPC. So to ensure the security, secure the networking. So inside the VPC, resources are distributed across the multiple available zones. So these are the multiple available zones. These are distributed come under the VPC. So so these are the worker nodes, where the actual workloads runs on the worker nodes. So the EKS supports three types of the worker nodes. The Here you can see first one is a managed EC2 instance, and second one is a self-managed, and the third one is a forget AWS forget. So in the managed nodes, so these are the Amazon EC2 instance managed by the EKS. So the AWS will handle the scaling and update for these nodes. So when comes to the self-managed nodes, you have to manage the EC2 instance yourself. So this will give you more control, but require the additional maintenance. So you need to maintain that. When comes to the forget boards, so it's a serverless options where you don't manage EC2 instance. So forget automatically provisions resources to run your pods. So here you can see the ECR. So that means Elastic Container Registry. So this is where your container image are stored. So here the container image are stored. So the worker node pull the container image from the ECR. So these nodes are pull the container image from the ECR to deploy your application. Now let's discuss about benefits of using AWS EKS. So firstly, it's a ease of management. So it will reduce the operational overhead. So the AWS will handle the hard part of the managing Kubernetes, like updating the control plane or ensuring high availability. So you can focus on deploying your application without worrying about the underlying setup. And the second benefit is enhanced security. So by using the native AWS security integration, it will provide the security. So the EKS integrated with AWS security tools like identity and access management and security groups. So these features are ensure your application and data are protected at all times. And also the AWS EKS is a cost efficient. So it's a pay as you go pricing model. So you can only pay for the resource you use, like a computer and storage. So with the no upfront cost for the case itself. And by using the AWS EKS, it will provide the flexibility. So it will support hybrid and multi-cloud deployments. So the EKS works with the other setups like hybrid cloud, like you can use it with the both AWS and on-premises data center, and also it provides the multi-cloud deployment. So you can run EKS alongside services from the other cloud provider. So if you need it. And lastly, the reliability. So it provide a high availability and the fault tolerance. So that means EKS designed for the high availability with a resource spread across the multiple availability zone. So it also fault tolerated. So that means your application remain available even if there is an failure in the part of your system. And now let's see what are the use cases of AWS EKS. So firstly, microservices architecture. So efficiently manage microservices based on the applications. So the microservices break application into a smaller independent services that work together. So the EKS can efficiently manage the each microservices as the separate Kubernetes pods, and it makes scaling updates and deploying the individual services easier without affecting the entire application. And the second use cases is CI/CD pipeline. So it automates the deployment with the tools like Jenkins and code pipeline. So the continuous integration and the continuous deployment will automate the process of testing, the building, and deploying the code. So the EKS integrated with the tools like Jenkins, code pipeline, uh, or GitLab, and the AWS code pipeline. So to deploy the application automatically. So these tools are ensure faster and more reliable deployment. And the third use cases is data processing. So it will handle the large scale data workload with AIs. So the application that process the large amount of data, like analytics or machine learning. So the EKS can run the containerized data processing workloads efficiently. So the Kubernetes allow the distributed processing and ensuring the high performance. And lastly, hybrid deployment. So it will extend the on-premises cluster with the AWS Outpost. So that means running the workloads across the both the on-premises infrastructure and the cloud. So the EKS works with the AWS Outpost to extend the Kubernetes cluster to the on-premises data center. So this will allow consistent management of your application across the cloud and on-premises environment. So if you want to create a EKS cluster, there are three methods are there. So the first one is with the help of the AWS console, you can create the EKS cluster, or you can use the EKS CTL. This is the command line interface to create the EKS cluster, or you can use the infrastructure as a code, that is a Terraform or Follow Me. Now we are going to use EKCTL to create a cluster. So now let's see what are the steps we have to follow to create a cluster. So firstly we need to create a IAM role with the EKS or administrator permission, and after that we need to create a Ubuntu EC2 instance, and we need to attach the above IAM role which we have created, and we need to install EKCTL and the kubectl to interact with the EKS, and we need to install unzip and AWS CLI. So firstly let's create a role of with the EKS and or the administrator permissions. So go to AWS console. So go to user, sorry, roles, click on create role, and entity type is AWS service, and the use case is EC2. Click on next. So here you can give a administrator access, or you can give a EKS. So click on next, give a name for the role. EC2 to EKS. IAM for, so click on create role. The next step is we need to create a Ubuntu EC2 machine, and we need to attach the IAM role to that. So go to EC2 dashboard. So click on launch instance. So here give a name, EKS cluster. So select Ubuntu OS, and after that the instance type is I'm going to select T3 medium, so which contains 2 CPUs and 4 GB of memory. And you can select you can create a new key pair or you can select the existing one. So I'm going to create new one. So to that you can configure the network settings. So select the subnet, and you can select a default VPC, or you can create a new one. And in the security group I'm going to select default one, and click on launch instance. So we have successfully created the EC2 instance. So it's still in the initializing status. Now we need to install the unzip. So let's connect the EC2 instance. So firstly take a sudo access. Now we need to install the unzip. So for that we can use this command. Now we need to install AWS CLI. So so need to go to this website. So AWS provided the documentation to install the AWS CLI. So you need to select the Linux. Here you can see this is the command to install the AWS CLI. Copy this. Now the installation of AWS CLI is successful. Now we need to install the EKS. So copy this command. Here you can see the EKCTL has been installed successfully. So we need to extract or we need to unzip this file. So for that you can use this command. Here you can see the file has been extracted. Now we need to move the EKCTL to the use bin folder. For that use this command. Now let's check the version of EKCTL. So here you can see this is the version of EKCTL. Now we need to install the kubectl. So copy this command. So it's a command line interface to interact with the Kubernetes cluster. So after that we need to make it as the executable file. here this is the kubectl, so we need to make it as the executable file. So for that, use the command chmod +x. So +x stands for executable. After that, we need to move the kubectl into the bin folder. So this is the command to move the kubectl to the bin folder. Now it's done. Now we need to create the EKS cluster. So this is the command used to create a EKS cluster. So here you can see ekctl create cluster. So this is the name of the cluster, my cluster, and this is the version, and we need to mention these zones. So that is AP Northeast 1A, AP Northeast 1D, AP Northeast 1C. So these are the zone I want to create my EKS cluster, and I'm going to create a cluster without a node group. So because uh, the EKS cluster is handled by the AWS, we have to handle the nodes only. So the all the necessary or the AWS will take care of the EKS cluster. So copy this command. So now need to create a AWS access key. So click on enter. So enter the zone. So that is IAP North East 1. So that this is my region. So output format is JSON. Now paste the command, hit enter. So I think we haven't attached the IAM role to the instance. So click on action, go to security, modify IAM role. So here is the role which we have created now. So update IAM role. So we need to add the IAM role to the EC2 instance. Now we need to create a EKS cluster. So this is the command for creating a EKS cluster. So in this command I have mentioned the name of the cluster, that is my cluster, and a version of the cluster, and we need to specify the zones which we want to create a cluster. So here you can see I have specified the zones: AP Northeast 1A, AP Northeast 1D, and AP Northeast 1C, and I'm going to create my EKS cluster without a node group. So copy the command to create a cluster. here you can see, so the process of cluster creating a cluster has been started. So it might be take some 10 to 15 minutes to create a cluster, so wait until it's done. So I'm going to pause the video. Here you can see the cluster has been created successfully. So you can check on go to the AWS console. So here you can see this is my AWS EKS console. So here you can see in the name of my cluster, the EKS cluster has been created successfully, so it's in active state. Now let's create nodes. So for that you need to follow these steps. So before that, give the command kubectl get cluster info. So this is the command to get the information about the cluster. So click on enter. So here you can see this is the information about the cluster. The cluster has been created in the region of AP Northeast 1. Now give the command kubectl get node. So here you can see currently we don't have any nodes, so we need to create a node. So before that give this command. So this is the command used to attach the IAM role to the EKS cluster which we have created now. So we need to attach the IAM to the EKS cluster. So copy the command. Now we have successfully associated the IAM role to the EKS cluster. Now let's create an nodes. So for that I need to give this command. So create a node. To create a node we need to create a node group. So node group is nothing but it's a collections of nodes. So here you can see we are going to create a node group. So this is the cluster name, my cluster, and we have to specify the region, and this is the cluster name, my cluster node group 1, and we need to specify the IAM OS type of the node. So this is the I am going to create a T2 micro. So this is the type of the node, and we need to specify the how many nodes we have to create, and we need to specify the minimum number of the nodes and maximum number of the nodes, and we need to specify the volume of the volume size of the nodes. So here I have specified that 20 GB, and we need to specify the SSH key. So we need to specify the key file name also, EKS cluster. So EKS cluster. So copy this command and here. So now creation of the nodes has been started. So let's wait. It might take some few minutes to create a nodes. So wait until it's done. Here you can see node has been created successfully. So here you can see this is the node group. So two node has been created. So let's go to the AWS console and let's check whether it is created or not. So here you can see two node has been created successfully. So these are the nodes which we have created now. So go to the instance and now give the command kubectl get nodes. So this command is used to list the nodes. So here you can see these are the nodes which we have created. Now let's deploy an pod into the nodes. So give the command kubectl. So now I'm going to deploy the nginx pod. Run nginx. So this is the name of the pod and this is the name of the image, nginx. So pod has been created. kubectl get pod. So here you can see this is the pod which we have created now. So you can use the command ekctl delete group hyphen hyphen and this is the name of the group node group name. So this command is used to delete a node group. So copy this command and we have to specify the name of the node group also. So hit enter. So deletion process has been started. So we need to wait until it's done. So it might take some few minutes to delete the node group. So this is how you can AWS EKS service. So in simple words, the AWS EKS service that will help you to run and manage Kubernetes, so which is a popular tool for running application in the containers. So the EKS take care of setting up and managing Kubernetes for you, so you don't have to worry about the technical details. So it ensures your application are highly available, secure and scalable.